Hi there, my name's Nick Watts and I'm here representing WeLoveBetting.co.uk. 188Bet have very kindly offered us the chance to rant about our betting experiences on their brand spanking new blog, and I shall be looking at the Premier League on a regular basis here as a result of that. One pick from the top flight each week. That's my speciality. Well, in fact, over on We Love Betting, I tend to pick three from the Premier League each weekend, but only the finest for 188Bet viewers. I'll be picking out my very best bet and justifying it here on this video. And hopefully I'll pick you a few winners over the coming weeks. If not, feel free to berate me on Twitter. I'm at NickWatts82, or you can just follow the We Love Betting gang at We Love Betting UK on Twitter. I'd better get stuck into my first bet then, hadn't I really, rather than waffling on all day. And it's Newcastle-Chelsea. It's the first game of the weekend. I have to say, a really tough coupon. The excuses coming out already from me. But this was the bet that stuck out pretty quickly, looking through, obviously doing the games in chronological order. But plenty of stats to back up the fact I think there's going to be goals in this game. Newcastle always feel like a team, to me at least, that can spring a few surprises. You look through their lineup, you see Ben Arfa, you see Loic Remy, you see Young Cabaye, and you just think, this is the sort of team that's got a bit of quality about it. But actually, looking at their record recently, it's not been great versus the top six, it has to be said. The last 10 meetings with top six sides reads 1-1, drawn 2, lost 7, and they've conceded 23 goals in that period. Pretty abysmal stuff. At home, it doesn't really get much better. They won 2, drawn 2, lost 6 of the last 10, conceding 18 goals in that spell. And actually, only Sunderland and Stoke have got worse records over that period. So a little worrying for Newcastle, it has to be said. Even more worrying for them is the injury news as I speak on Friday morning. As things stand, it looks like Mike Williamson and Mapu Yanga Mbiwa, nice challenging name to get me started, look like they're likely central defensive pairing coming up this weekend. Colaccini's so important for them, looks like he's out again, and that's a massive blow against this Chelsea side that's slowly cranking up. Everybody's talking about them now. They're very much the fashionable club to talk about being champions after beating Man City last weekend, of course. Their record, incidentally, against these kind of middle third teams, as I'd define Newcastle at least, is pretty good. Over the last 10 meetings, won 8, drawn 2, lost 0. It's a record that can be matched only by Arsenal. They're the only two that are unbeaten against these kind of teams in that period. So pretty compelling stuff. Has to be said, their away form hasn't been brilliant this year. The last 4, they failed to win at Man United, Everton and Spurs, but if you look at the quality of opposition at those venues, you've got to give them a bit of slack. They then went to Norwich and won pretty comfortably indeed. And I would say there's basis for understanding why everyone's getting so excited about Chelsea now. Looking at some other stats, Newcastle scored in 7 straight games now. St James's Park, typically a place where you see a lot of goals. 63% of games last season had over 2.5. 78% of Newcastle games so far this year have featured those 3 or more goals. Chelsea overs paid out in the last 3 games. Newcastle the last 6. So lots of reasons to think about goals for me. And this is where 188Bet do a great job of giving you a few more options here. You could just look at the straight over 2.5 goals, which is one that I do fancy. That's 3 or more. But there's an extra level here, and at a slightly better price, I'm actually looking at over 2.5/3 goals, even money with 188. The way this works, for those who don't know, is that basically if there are 3 goals exactly, you win half as much. So say even money, you place £10, 1 or 2 goals in the game, we're not going to contemplate that, but that would be a loss. 3 goals exactly, you would win £5 plus your tenner back, of course. And if there are 4 or more goals in the game, then you would make £10 profit plus your £10 back. So that's the bet I'm going for with my debut selection for 188Bet, courtesy of WeLoveBetting.co.uk, if I can remember that bit. And hopefully it's a winner. Cheers, guys. Come on the goals.